This week on Ted Lasso, a strange, divisive episode that caught some viewers off guard. It also led to this interaction between my friend Lauren and I.
This episode kinda blows.
I loved it.
It's just like not this show. Maybe it was supposed to be a Halloween episode. 'Cause they did that Christmas one. Okay, it kind of redeemed itself.
TV needs to be as weird as possible at all times. / sometimes. I'm a simple man that way. Every show should be Twin Peaks.
Every?
Haha. Yes. All this and more, all on today's.
Yeah, we're watching season 2. Yeah, and we'll make you smile too. Heaven knows we'll try.
Thank you so very much, Matthew Winkler, for providing your musical talents to craft and perform the theme song for the web series Talkin' Ted. Welcome to the web series Talkin' Ted. I am Mike, I am your host. Woo-ee, what an episode that was. And as mentioned off the top, weird is my jam. And it was my favorite of the season. When I get to know and really enjoy spending time with characters in a story, I don't mind taking a side road detour to spend more time with one of them. It's like Virginia Woolf's To the Lighthouse, which I did 3 separate undergrad essays on. This episode felt like the first act of that book, staying put and letting moments really breathe, which is a neat trick to pull off given how this episode was a frantically paced homage to After Hours, Trainspotting, A Clockwork Orange, Fight Club, The Shining, and a bunch of other movies I loved when I was an undergrad. Also, I absolutely love these 3 soccer fans so much, the more real estate for them, the better. I poo-pooed the needle drops in the episode Man City, but I loved every single song chosen for Beard After Hours. The song over the closing credits, The Universal by Blur. Ugh! I just said Blur. That's a street in Toronto. I meant Blur. Not Blur, Blur. On to this episode of Talkin' Ted. My special guest is Aaron Kopff, who's an absolute gem of a human, and probably the one person who helped me learn about what filmmaking actually is. So given the cinematic weirdness of Beard After Hours and the cinematic connection that Aaron and I share, I thought that this episode of Talkin' Ted should be cinematically unique as well. At first I thought we should travel to the dystopian future and talk about season 74 of Ted Lasso. Then I thought about doing a meta French New Wave pastiche that talks about the making of this episode.
Pour moi, le 9e épisode a été toujours le plus difficile à produire.
Then I realized I was overthinking, and I decided that this episode should just be a simple, bare-bones conversation between Aaron and I talking about the show. So bare-bones that I decided to take away some of the core elements down to its bare essentials. So, no fancy border, not gonna do any of those pictures popping into frame, and also, no green screen. That's better. Because if there's one piece of feedback I've been hearing from fans of this show, it's that we want to pay more of an homage to the Dogma 95 movement. So you may be asking, Mike, why not just make a traditional Ted Lasso recap show? Why this compulsive need to make this weird avant-garde artistic statement that nobody is clamoring for? To which I say, who are you, my therapist?
Let's meet our special guest.
People of the internet, please give it up for my special guest, Aaron Kopff. Aaron, how you doing today?
I'm well, Mike. How are you?
I mean, I'm doing fairly splendid.
First concert, best concert.
The very first concert I went to was Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. It was at Exhibition Stadium, and I was about 4, maybe 5. One that really stands out for me was I got to see Stevie Wonder My mom took me for my birthday, and it was right after his mom had passed away, and he had his daughter on stage. And this guy, even if you don't know the songs, you know the songs in your blood, you know, from every wedding you've been to or whatever. And but he's beautiful, and he played for 3 hours, and it was just a spectacular show. Like, I don't even know if he's my favorite musician at all, but it was pretty beautiful.
Let's get into the recap. I was looking at people's reactions to the last episode, and everyone's kind of divided, but it was absolutely my shit. I love this, what we entered into.
I think I tried to fight it initially because it did seem very Lynchian or something, like this departure into the world of the stoic, silent character who like his best stuff supports Ted, but I think as the episode progressed, I was all in too.
But what we've seen so far in this season and the last few episodes, where do you think the show is heading?
Great question. I actually hadn't even thought about that. Is that weird? I felt like so many of the episodes were kind of had a one-off feel to them, and I don't know if that's the product of writing in a pandemic. There was kind of the Christmas episode that felt, on its own. Where is the show going?
The next episode is going to be a funeral of somebody in Rebecca's life. Yeah, and I have a feeling it's going to be one of her parents. I'm really hoping it isn't Rupert. Like, Rupert is such a ringer of a character that, like, why would you get rid of him?
This season needs a villain. It's in a way, it's kind of almost lacking a villain, and he is the perfect villain for this show. You need him around to kind of push her buttons and question her relationship with Sam, which I think is probably the next thing that's going to happen. Really kind of get to the bottom of what does she really feel these things for him?
Yeah, because I even thought that in that previous episode, we went into romantic montage mode way too quickly, and we didn't see Rebecca explore her shock, because we saw her being shocked. And so I want to live in that.
That's an episode for sure. For sure.
To kill him off, I mean, it just reminds me of Peter Pocklington cutting Gretzky from the Oilers in 1988.
They still won, though, didn't they?
They won a few years later because Messier was still on the team.
Yep, I'm more of a 93 guy. I kind of, you need to have a Drake Berehowski for me to connect to this story.
When it comes to iconic Toronto Drakes, it's Berehowski, Hotel, Aubrey Graham.
I agree. In that order.
Speaking of the beautiful game of hockey circa 1993, we like to play a game on Talkin' Ted. This is Wordplay Swordplay. Wordplay Swordplay. An angry insect vents online.
Angry insect vents online.
I just thought of ticked off tick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
TikTok, tick.
Okay, I like that.
TikTok. Okay, so a ticked off tick talking on TikTok?
I like it. A ticked tick talks on TikTok? I'm going to give ourselves an A- on that one.
Yes, I will take it. Good job, us.
Oh, very good job, us. So the last segment on this show, what are you grateful for?
Oh boy, I am very grateful for my family and them being happy and healthy. I have a new little baby girl. She's 5 months old. Her big brother loves her, and I'm very happy for them. She wakes me up every day with a smile, which is a lot more than I can say for myself. So she's wonderful, and her big brother's pretty cool too. So I'm very grateful for them. How about you?
Well, Not to embarrass you, but I'm going to filter my gratitude towards our special guest right here. Was really, really happy to get on those film sets as soon as I got out of university. And you were my guy. You were the producer on, like, I think the first, 10 sets I was on?
You were a core member, Mike. You were definitely a core member of our team, for sure.
Oh, but it was, and I'm sure, like, not just you and me, but I'm sure anybody who's worked in the film industry can say that there are some personalities out there in the world that, that aren't the most sunshiny and brightest. But I was really fortunate to have you as a producer on those early shows, because you have such an approach to creative projects that is legitimately beautiful.
Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you to say. And it's at this point in my life, it's very inspirational. So thank you. I will take your warm, loving energy and hopefully create something new. And it'll be because of you and this.
I appreciate that. I mean, and I'll take it, because we're feeding into that energy, just that invisible, beautiful monster.
It's not easy. It's hard, but good people like you make it worthwhile, man. You're a love. You really are.
Love recognized love, man.
That's right.
Thank you for tuning in to Talking Ted. If you have any ideas for future episodes, sound off in the comments. Or, if you know me personally, text me your ideas. I appreciate you.